you guys. I have been not recording as frequent as I need to. So this is an effort to get back into it. It is the start of the summer, so I have literally been vacationing, and that's what this video is about today. I had a great opportunity to take my mom on vacation for her birthday. Her birthday was June the 10th. Today is Juneteenth, hence if you clicked on this video, you are either going on a cruise, doing research for a cruise. So I want to share my experience on the Norwegian Sky. My first time ever cruising, and it was a great time, y'all. Like, I will definitely be back on another cruise. Now, you always hear people like, I don't know about cruising. The food is this, the this is that, it's that and the other. I'd rather go to the location. I was very much that person. I prefer when I go to a vacation to be able to explore the culture, kind of stay for a few days and just stay there, right? Girl, because I didn't know what was going on the cruise boats. I didn't know what was going on the cruises because I had a great time. My good girlfriend Ruth, who her and her husband went on a cruise for his birthday, and she was like, it was the best time ever. Now, she's been on cruises before, but she said she loved Norwegian Sky. She loved Norwegian. She said she loved Norwegian, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try. She was saying how great the ship was. They had like a cigar lounge. They had, you know, surf and turf every night, and I was like, that sounds interesting. I can't eat seafood, but it just sounds like a vibe. So for my mom's birthday, I decided to take her on a cruise, the Norwegian Sky. I'll try to insert some clips. Baby, my mother partied me under that ship, okay? She was having such a great time, and we met so many nice people, you guys. I'm a very social person, but my mom was introducing herself. People were coming up to us and just, you know, following us throughout the trip, and it was just so an incredible experience that I would love to do again. So I'm going to just kind of give you some of the key takeaways that I have discovered just on my first cruise. And hopefully if you are cruising or you're looking, doing some research for yourself, that these tips can be helpful. Just post-COVID, and I was worried about like what happens if the test is negative, positive. Do I get my money back, girl? Because I pay for everything. And I'm like, okay, so do we get to book another thing? So I start to call closer to. I traveled through the pandemic. Usually I get insurance on my flights and so on, so I can just rebook if I'm positive. But I've never taken a cruise before, so I wanted to really figure out what the refund was going to be. So if in the event my mom or I had COVID, and they called and was like, I called them and they said that, you know, that it will be okay for the most part. I got some insurance and that they would just rebook me. So that out the way, I was telling the lady, the representative, that this was my first time cruising and that I was taking my mom for her birthday. And she was like, okay, let me tell you what you need to do. She said, be sure to take a beach bag, a sail away something, because it may take some time for your luggage to get to your cabin or your stateroom. So taking something like a beach bag onto when you actually go onto the ship will be helpful with your bathing suit, maybe a sun hat, maybe some sunscreen, anything that you may need so that you can still be comfortable, like on the deck, and like maybe go to the pool. You don't have to wait hours for your luggage to get to your stateroom. So that was so helpful. My mom and I packed a little bag with our girl. The way that I like to suntan is no joke. So I had my sunscreen, my tanning oil, and I was ready for the sail away party. When we got on the ship, I had paid, my mom doesn't drink. I had paid for both of us to have like unlimited drinks, which was an additional cost when I purchased the cruise. It was an additional cost, but it was well worth it. I drank a lot. I drink a lot, but what I would say is that I don't feel like I ate as much as I would. I started to drink more because I was like, I'm paying for this, girl. This was $200. Let me be sure that I'm maximizing that cost. So I just started to kind of drink a little more. But the food, I was trying not to force myself to just overeat in general. So, I just kind of, for breakfast, I may have some fruit and some coffee, and then I just ate a little later in the day. What I loved about the Norwegian is that their buffet, there was always a time you can eat, right? So if you missed lunch, if you were doing other things, if you weren't hungry at the time when there was lunch time, or, the hours of which lunch is being held, after the lunch, the main dining space closed, they will also have like a snack space where it had like hamburgers, hot dogs. It had like lunch sandwiches. There was always food to eat. My mom is also a vegetarian, and they had some great options for vegetarians. So I would say, to make sure that you pack yourself a Sellaway bag that has all your essentials in it, girl. If you want to put on a little makeup, if you want to put on some lipstick, while you're on the deck, you might want to pack that in your bag just so that you can have it. Most importantly, sunscreen. So when you're out at the Sellaway party, you are not burning, and that'd be a horrible start to a vacation. I used a business account to hold space when we actually got on. It was the first thing I saw. At some point of the trip, the gentleman who was giving me a drink told me to just go check my card. It looks like it had been turned off, or one thing or another. So when I went downstairs to like the service center, or like customer service, they indicated that my business name and was different. The way that my business account showed up when I swiped the card looked different than my actual name and what I booked it under. So, we got that cleared up. But what I noticed is that, they printed me out some stuff. And I was like, oh, there were some charges for like service charges and fees that I didn't know was there. And I paid for the package that taxes were included. Again, paid for additional expense in terms of drinks and so on. So I actually had... So I was like, what are these charges? Why are they charging? And they were like $1.70. One was $16 or so. And remind you, I'm paying for my mom. So everything was doubled in that expense, minus the drink surcharges. And I was like, well, what is this? I thought we paid for it. And he was like, oh no, we add on a service fee. A service fee every day, 12, 14, 16, whatever the dollars it was per person. But you can come back down the day before you leave and get it all cleared. It's just the way of them tipping the service. Now, the service was incredible. Our cabin team who were cleaning the cabins on our floor was just so nice and was doing such an incredible job. Baby, they did everything but pack my luggage, okay? They had did so much in our room every day. So obviously I wanted to tip them, but I didn't want to be forced in a certain amount that I was tipping. So I mentioned to them that I would like to tip, but I would like to tip on my own. He was like, well, you could come back and tell us how much you want. If, say, for example, the fee is a total with the two people, $100, you can say, I only want to give them the $30 for the time. So or you can pay in cash. So that's essentially what I did. I started to tip him in the room every day in cash. So at the end, he was able to kind of just get all of the money that we left behind. So I would say just to be prepared for that, and just know the protocol in terms of how you can get it removed, because it is a removable charge. It is essentially optional because you've paid for your expenses, but I mean, it's a courtesy in terms of the services you're getting, and you determine what that service is for you. So certainly if they're adding it on, you define how much you want to get them and just let them know that you want it to be taken off. The best part of the trip, you guys, the best part of the trip was the entertainment. My mom, they gave us a daily newsletter, and the newsletter had everything that was going on that day. And my mom had did so much research looking at YouTube videos like this. She did so much research. She was so prepared. She had us booked and busy from the when we woke up, girl, to when we were going to bed. And she had like, okay, I want to go see this trivia. I want to do this. I want to partake in this. They got a sexy legs competition on the deck, and like we were doing something on the hour, so our day just never seemed like it was like, oh, okay, the day is kind of getting long, but we were always doing something and enjoying in that time. And when we didn't want to do anything, when we wanted to just sit at the beach, when we got to the locations, we did that. It was beautiful. It was so nice. But the entertainment, we did 2 plays, we did 2 comedy shows. It was just always something to do. My mom played bingo. It was so much fun. The entertainment was just everything. So one of the key takeaways I would tell you is to make sure you are looking at that daily newsletter, and then plan out your day of what you want to participate in, because some things were running simultaneously, so you couldn't do both of them at the same time. So I would tell you to just kind of plan whoever you're with, what you guys, your preference is, and start there. And then you can always move about or don't go to those things. It's completely up to you. But my mom had like things that she wanted to do, and it was just so much fun. She really kind of had our itinerary down. Okay, what I would say is that we met people. We were only on a 4-day cruise. We did meet people the second day who had not even looked at the daily newsletter. So I was like, okay, so how are they figuring this out? They're kind of on the whim, which is okay too if that's your thing. But it was really nice to have like a time. Okay, we gotta we're gonna have dinner at this time so we can go and do this. So I would just encourage you to just look at it. That'd be one of the first things you do. And then if you decide you want to just relax and chill by the pool, or whatever it is you want to do, at least you know what your options are. So you want to start there. Another thing is I was so impressed with how much space was actually in the cabin or in the stateroom. Like I was shocked. We had 2 twin beds, and I did get a space that could accommodate up to 4 people because I didn't know if my sisters were going to join us, and because I didn't invite them, but I didn't know. So I was like, okay, I needed it to be at least to be able to accommodate 4 people. And the room that we received, you could tell that there was a bed. They may even downsize our room, giving it was only the 2 of us at the end by the time we actually on board. So I don't know. I would say that girl, I done been in some New York hotel rooms that are like a shoebox. So I was very impressed. I was a little worried about not having enough space, just for the both of us, and just kind of being able to not be on top of each other. So it was good to see that the space was great. So obviously if you are worried about that, at least on the Norwegian, it was perfect. The spacing was just enough, and we really enjoyed it. Let's get to the real. So a big thing is the excursions. Now, I was attempting to do prepay for excursions prior to our trip, but we couldn't figure out which day. There was going to be a storm. We didn't know which day was going to have the storm, which day we wanted to do certain things. I also had a special dinner for my mom because it was her birthday, so I didn't know which day we would do those kind of things. So I didn't immediately pay for the excursions, although when I went to go look at them, they were pricey. Options were like swimming with pigs, which I hear is really cool. Swimming with dolphins, and all of the things, right? Jet skiing, you had all those options. And they were ranging from about $79 per person to like $249 per person. Yeah, but it was cheaper if you did it, if you pre-selected them. Now, when you got on the ship, they were probably another additional $40, $30 or so, if you didn't pre-do it. Now, granted, you're going to countries that have their own excursions and people who will be offering you their actual packages. So you don't have to do it. You can certainly kind of do your own thing. You can. You have plenty of hours to kind of do your own thing. You just want to make sure you're mindful of time and when you're going to actually be able to get back so you don't miss the ship. And there's more than enough time to do that. My mom wasn't really into she's not a huge swimmer. She can swim. We've been swimming since we've been babies, but she wasn't interested in being in the middle of the ocean, okay? So the things that they had that I may have been interested in, she wasn't completely gung-ho about it, but wasn't stopping me from doing it. But obviously I was there with my mom and wanted to do things with my mom. So we didn't book anything in advance, but let me tell you, when we walked past our ship, everything was considerably cheaper. We went to the Queen's Staircase. I'm sure I'm messing it up. I'll add it in there. I'll also add a picture up here. But we went to some of the historic sites. When we got to Nassau, Bahamas, we went to the Bahamas. And we actually was able to get a tour right after the ships. And I think I paid about $40 per person for the tour. The tour was great. We went to a rum cake bakery. We went to a chocolate factory. We went to the Queen's Stairs. We went to like this open market where we can buy souvenirs. It was worth it. It was really, really worth it. And he gave us other options to go to, like this, I think it's called Fish Market, or there's a huge place that people go to kind of to when they're going into the Bahamas to eat. I have a shellfish allergy. I try to not get too exotic when I am on travel, just because of my own emergencies. I am a full anaphylactic reaction if I'm exposed to seafood. So the big conch, I think it's what it's called, that comes straight out of the shell. They were offering it. It's not something I would have felt comfortable with, because then I don't know in terms of the medical system how that would have actually worked for me. So I try to stay away, just because sometimes cross-contamination, if I'm not 100% sure that there's no seafood. So we didn't do that, but we went to the Atlas. We went to another part of the Bahamas.
Sorry, you guys, I screwed that one up. It was the Atlantis that we visited as a part of our tour.
Enjoyed it. We went to see the flamingos, and it was nice. So I would say, if you're worried to find something cheaper in terms of your excursions, don't spend all of your vacation money on one excursion or feel the need to, because if you're really open to it, you can go outside of that. And we actually went on a tour with 6 other people, maybe 4 or 5 other people, and definitely 6 other people. And some of them came from different cruise lines. One was from Carnival, but he got his group, and then we just kind of went on our tour. It was nice. We got to meet other people. We took pictures of each other. It was really, really cool. So consider that. Don't waste that's all the tips I have. Make sure that you are packing a beach bag for your sail away until you get your luggage. Make sure you're not spending all your money on excursions from the actual cruise lines. Make sure you're dining and maximizing your dining package. And also just make sure that you are planning from their daily activity newsletter. That will make you really make you maximize your experience. So I hope these tips will be helpful to you guys. Until later, hope to see you guys. I am also doing a blog post over on the website, over on my blog website. If you want to know more, if you want to see more pictures, come follow us over there. Until next time, you guys, peace.